Saying depression is a choice, a deliberate effort, has caused more outrage than almost anything I've said recently. Despite being 100% correct, I can't help it. I need the drugs. I'm not in control of my thoughts and feelings. People viciously clinging to their depression. You can't bring yourself to admit that it's all in your head and thereby totally under your control, because then you'd have to accept the time you've wasted being depressed was your fault. You'd have to look back on your years squandered and face the cold reality that that too is your responsibility to manage. Some people spin it on me and say, "You've never been depressed if you could just fix it like that." Another desperate attempt to avoid accountability by way of no true Scotsman. This way, they can separate my lived experience from their own without just saying I'm wrong. Their depression is real depression, and my depression was fake depression. There were times I was literally penniless, less than $1,000 in total, living in a foreign country I did not speak the language of, 1,000 miles from my nearest friend, without a single member of my family to talk to, completely, totally, and utterly isolated from everyone except by way of computer, and the Kiwi Farms in 2017 was relatively small. I had lost everything that most people take for granted in their lives in under a year, just over some internet bullshit. I spent the last of my money to buy a plane ticket to a post-Soviet country, so the little cryptocurrency donations I received would stretch far enough to sustain me. I was so depressed, I even watched anime. This was the time where I watched Watamote and Lane SE. At some point, I simply decided I would not be depressed. I would treat life flippant, and I would do whatever I wanted. There's no consequence that I would need to suffer through because I had nothing to lose anyways. This is when I started doing things I was previously afraid of doing, like podcasting, whereas previously I was terrified of speaking because I sound so weird. I had also been terrified of becoming a more public figure because I knew I'd have to deal with posts I made when I was a teenager for the rest of my life in increasingly embarrassing and public ways. Posts that I had made, by the way, while so extremely depressed that not a day went by where I did not want to take my own life. While proceeding, I knew there would be no safety net. Nobody in my family will talk to me unless someone dies. If I fuck up while taking this path nobody has really taken before, there would be no one in the world who would take pity on me to help me. These are generally blockers that would stop most people before they start. However, I found such loss conditions freeing. I realized that because I could just end my own life whenever I pleased, and I was already considering it, I had no excuse not to just do whatever I wanted. I was already at rock bottom. I simply needed to choose to be happy, and I did. And now I am happy, and the many problems in my life are being increasingly more permanently resolved because, and only because, I put in the deliberate effort every day to resolve them. I have no pity for people who take their own life. I have no pity for the depressed. It's ultimately a choice. I tolerate your choice to end your own life. I tolerate your choice to laze around and feel sorry for yourself. Those who want to live, let them fight, and those who do not want to fight in this world of eternal struggle do not deserve to live. 8:37 a.m. May 29th, 2024.